It's National Get to Know Your Customers team, so I want you guys to shout out your favorite team in the comments down below. Mine is the Dallas Mavericks. I know over 10,000 of you watch these videos, so I expect to see at least 1,000 comments. Let's get to those NBA power rankings right now. All right, let's start with the lowly Charlotte Hornets coming in at number 30. We're going to power rank all 30 teams in the NBA heading into the regular season, which gets going just next week. You lose Kemba Walker, you overpay Terry Rozier. I'm not sure what Michael Jordan is doing in Charlotte. Okay, number 29, the Washington Wizards. They just gave Bradley Beal a 2-year extension. Not really sure why. John Wall still coming off that torn Achilles. They got a lot of problems on that roster. Not sure how it gets fixed anytime soon. Number 28, I've got the Cleveland Cavaliers. You draft Darius Garland. How's he going to fit in with Colin Sexton? Still got Kevin Love. Trade rumors around him continue to swirl. Don't like the makeup of this roster. It's going to take several years to get this team back on track. The Phoenix Suns coming in at number 27. Will they get back on track this season? Lots of young talent, but they don't seem to translate it into wins. I like DeAndre Ayton. I like Devin Booker, but they haven't been winning a lot lately. Haven't won 20 games in several years. I think they at least win 20 this year. Okay, number 26, I've got the Memphis Grizzlies. Ja Morant, the Rookie of the Year candidate, was taken number 2 overall in this past year's draft. Look, they're banking on Ja Morant long term. They're building around him. They're building around Jaren Jackson Jr. Young and talented roster. With those two guys at the helm, if they can continue to develop, stay healthy, especially in Jackson's case, this could be a team watch moving forward. I don't know how many games they'll win this year. They're a few years away from contending, but this is one of those league pass teams you're going to want to watch this year, despite not winning very often. I'm excited to watch this Memphis Grizzlies team. I got them at number 26. So those were my 5 worst teams from 30 to 26 in my NBA power rankings. I'll ask you guys, who is the worst team in the NBA? I think it's the Charlotte Hornets. They've got no talent on that roster. But let me know in the comments below. Let me know what you guys think about who the worst team in the NBA is. It's Charlotte. But if you have a different opinion, let me know. Okay, number 25, the New York Knicks. I actually think there's an outside shot this team could compete for a playoff spot in the Eastern Conference, but good God almighty, they swung and missed in free agency. Julius Randle is who they end up settling for. They had a bunch of veterans on 2-year deals like Taj Gibson, players of that ilk. Not excited to watch this team play. I got them at number 25. Number 24, I got the Minnesota Timberwolves. They can't get Karl Anthony Towns any help in Minnesota. They tried to swing for D'Angelo Russell. He ends up in Golden State. Andrew Wiggins, it just hasn't worked out. He's got a terrible contract. I'm not a big Jeff Teague guy. His best days are behind him. I got them at number 24. The Chicago Bulls coming in at number 23. I still think they're probably a year away, but I like their young talent. Lauri Markkanen, you've got some guys on this roster. You drafted Kobe White out of North Carolina. A couple years from now, this could be a playoff caliber team, but not this year. I got them at number 23. The Atlanta Hawks are in a similar situation as the Bulls. They've got some young talent. I love Trae Young. He had a terrific rookie season last year, scoring over 19 points, dishing out over 8 assists. I expect that 3-point percentage to shoot up at least 3 or 4 percentage points this year. I think he'll be in the 36-37 range. He is a really, really good player, underrated defender for his size as well, gets guys involved. If they continue to build around Trae Young, watch out for them next year. As far as this year goes, they're still not a playoff team. I think they'll be a 35-win type of team. I've got the Atlanta Hawks at number 22. Trae Young's going to be an all-star this year. Detroit Pistons at number 21. They've got some names, but how much talent do they actually have? They got Blake Griffin, who's coming off of a nice season. Andre Drummond was a center built for 20 years ago. He doesn't fit the modern NBA. They brought in Derrick Rose, who he actually had a nice season last year, so maybe he helps a bit. They're a fringe playoff team in the East. Their ceiling is very, very low. Not sure what the future holds in Detroit. They don't really have a lot of young talent. Okay, shout out your favorite player in the comments down below. I know a lot of people still love Derrick Rose. Won the MVP back in 2011. He is a fan favorite among many across the NBA. So let me guys know, who is your favorite player in the NBA? Right now, mine's Luka Doncic. I'm a Dallas Mavericks fan. I love Luka. I'm glad they brought in Porzingis. They should be fun to watch. Luka's my favorite player. R.I.P. Dirk. He's not actually dead, but he was my favorite player before then. So let me know what you guys think in the comments section. Okay, today's show is brought to you by BetDSI. Go to chatsports.com/bet. It's the best online sportsbook out there. Use that promo code DEAL120 and you can get that 120% deposit bonus. You put down $100, they're going to give you $120 for free. Use that promo code DEAL120, chatsports.com/bet. Get the bag like I am. I'm betting on the NFL every week, and I am making money. NFL, college football, NBA's around the corner. You can bet on all of it on BetDSI. Use that promo code DEAL120. Okay, let's get into the top 20 of my power rankings here. I got the Oklahoma City Thunder at number 20. And remember, keep in mind, this is right now. I don't think Oklahoma City's a great team, but they still have Chris Paul, Danilo Gallinari, Steven Adams. They've got some pieces there. They'll compete with that roster. Not sure they're a playoff team, but they're not terrible. They've got some pieces, certainly not what they were with Russell Westbrook, but as of today, I think this is a team that's worthy of being the 20th best team in the NBA. They're going to try and trade Chris Paul at some point, though. Number 19, a team that might trade for Chris Paul, is the Miami Heat. Obviously, they got Jimmy Butler in free agency, gave him a max deal. What else do they have, though? Justice Winslow, Bam Adebayo. It's not really doing much for me. They're kind of like Detroit. Not sure. They're kind of stuck in the middle of the NBA, and that is not where you want to be. Not a lot of young talent to build upon. I got Miami at number 19. A team that has a lot of young talent is the Sacramento Kings. They're at number 18, and they could keep moving up on this list throughout the season. Buddy Hield continues to get better. I love De'Aaron Fox's game. Added a couple of pieces in free agency. You brought back Harrison Barnes. I like the makeup of this roster. Don't have a true superstar, though, and that's why I have them down at number 18. Dallas Mavericks may have two superstars, at least two superstars in the making. They got Luka Doncic. They have Kristaps Porzingis. Now, keep in mind, Porzingis did not play last year, so these are his numbers 2 seasons ago. This is what Luka did last year. Obviously, if these two guys can get right and play together and stay healthy, especially in Porzingis' case, this Dallas Mavericks team will play at a very, very high level. I'm excited about this young core. We'll see what they do this season. I don't think they're a playoff team this year, but in the future, Dallas will be a force to reckon with in the Western Conference. Number 16, I've got the New Orleans Pelicans. You said it. I think Zion might be able to lead this team to the playoffs. Have y'all seen what this guy's done in the preseason? He's freaking dunking and shooting baskets over Rudy Gobert in Utah. Rudy Gobert, the best defensive center in the NBA, no answers for Zion Williamson. He's averaging 23 points, 6.5 boards, over 2 assists on 71.5% from the field in the preseason. Those aren't going to be the numbers he puts up in the regular season, but he's going to be a force to be reckoned with. He's 6'6", 275, just a bowling ball out there. If this guy continues to develop his outside jumper, this guy is going to be an all-star for a very, very long time, possibly a future MVP type of player. I'm excited to watch the Pelicans this season. Brought in J.J. Redick as well. Lots of talent on this team. Okay, I was looking up NBA Rookie of the Year odds on BetDSI. Use that promo code DEAL120. And Zion Williamson obviously is the favorite. John Morant's the second favorite, and R.J. Barrett's the third favorite. But then the field is the fourth favorite. You never see that in these type of awards. So I'm asking you this. Zion, again, the heavy favorite. Would you take Zion or the field to pick one for Rookie of the Year? I'm giving you every other rookie in the NBA or Zion Williamson. I'm still typing my Z for Zion. I think he is that good. Excited to watch him play. I'm typing my Z. But let me know in the comments section. Top 15 here, Orlando Magic. I like this team, but it's Orlando, and they can't get superstars there, and that's the problem. You got Vucevic, you've got Fournier, you've got some other pieces there as well. Not a lot of high-end talent. They got a lot of B and C level talent, which is good to fill out a roster, but you need those superstars to really contend. I've got them at number 15. Number 14, the Indiana Pacers. I like what they did this offseason, bringing in Malcolm Brogdon. You get Victor Oladipo back this season as well, coming off injury. We'll see how he progresses coming off the ACL tear. I think this is a 4 or 5 seed type of team in the Eastern Conference. They've done a good job the last few years building that roster. Number 13, the reigning NBA champions, the Toronto Raptors. Has there ever been less hype around a team that had won the NBA Finals the year before? I can't think of one. Maybe the Dallas Mavericks after they won back in 2011 had similar hype, which is not that much. But guess what? When you lose Kawhi Leonard, that's kind of what happens. He chose the Clippers. What are the realistic expectations this season? I'm not sure. I think, if they made the playoffs and won a series, that would probably be a successful season. You still have Kyle Lowry. You've got Marc Gasol. Pascal Siakam, his development will be key into the transitioning of the future of Toronto Raptors basketball, but they're not a title contender. Certainly should be a playoff team, but I'm not sure how far they can go in the Eastern Conference playoffs. I've got them at number 13. Number 12, I've got the San Antonio Spurs. What can you say? They just keep on winning. Last year, that roster had no business making the playoffs, yet they were. And yet again, and we're one game away from advancing to the second round. DeMar DeRozan, LaMarcus Aldridge. You get Murray back at the point guard position. He should help. Their ceiling isn't very high, but we know their floor is high with Greg Popovich. Should be another playoff year for San Antonio. Number 11, the Brooklyn Nets. Curious to see how this plays out this season because, as we all know, they got Kevin Durant, they got Kyrie Irving. Don't expect Durant to play this season, however. He's got that Achilles tear, which he suffered in the NBA Finals. They would be stupid to rush him back at the end of the season. I don't expect him to play this year. The question is how far can Kyrie take that young core this season? Can they make the Eastern Conference Finals? I think it's possible. I think more likely they're a second-round team in the East than in 2020-2021 season. They're looking at winning the NBA Finals. Don't think that'll happen this year, but should be interesting to watch. I'm excited to watch Kyrie on a new team. Things did not end well there in Boston. I've got them at number 11. Okay, let me ask you guys this question. Which team will surprise us the most this season? Let me know down in the comments section. I think it's possible that Toronto actually could surprise us and be really good again. I don't think they're a title contending type of team, but if they've got veterans who have been there, done that. They've got Siakam, a young emerging star. If that can all come together, I like what Nick Nurse did last year as the head coach. Now entering year 2, he'll have a bigger job without Kawhi. It'll be he'll have to do a little bit more coaching, X's and O's stuff, but I'm excited to watch this Raptors team, see how they handle coming off NBA champs and without Kawhi Leonard. I think they could surprise some people. Number 10, I've got the Boston Celtics. This is kind of one of those high floor, low ceiling type of teams. I think they're a solid playoff team out east. You get Kemba Walker, you lose Kyrie Irving and Al Horford. Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, a lot of young talent. We'll see how it all comes together. I'm curious to watch Boston this year. I've got them at number 10. Number 9, I got the Portland Trail Blazers. Coming off that Western Conference Finals run where they got swept by the Golden State Warriors. We all know what they're all about with C.J. McCollum and Damian Lillard. These two guys are going to average almost a combined 50 points per game. They're going to shoot the lights out of the basketball. The question is, can these two guys get enough help to make a run in the postseason? I'm not sure that they can, but I think they're at least a second-round team in the West, maybe a sneaky team to make it back to the Western Conference Finals. I got them at number 9. Golden State Warriors, I got them at number 8. And remember, it's right now. Klay Thompson isn't healthy and isn't going to be healthy for a while, so I've got them down at number 8. I think by the end of the season, this could be a top 4 or 5 team. Steph Curry is going to have to score a ton of points early in the season. We'll see how D'Angelo Russell fits. That's another reason I have him down at number 8. I'm not sold on that fit. It's going to take some time. Don't have as much depth as they've had in years past, so we'll see what Golden State does in the early part of the season. That's why I've got them at number 8. Number 7, the Houston Rockets, kind of similar. I'm not sure how the pieces all come together. James Harden and Russell Westbrook, obviously. Can these two guys coexist? Obviously, they made the major trade to get Westbrook, moving on from Chris Paul. Expectations are huge. Tillman Fertitta, the owner, he refuses to give in. Daryl Morey, they're going to keep swinging every single year, and that's why they brought in Russell Westbrook. We'll see if that works. He's not a good shooter, so Mike D'Antoni is going to have to adjust his system a little bit. But the Houston Rockets are going to be a fun team to watch. I'll see if Harden and Westbrook can coexist. It's going to take some time. I got them at number 7. The Utah Jazz at number 6. I think they are the safest team possibly in the top 10. They're going to win 50-ish games. They're going to at least win one playoff series. But can they take that step forward in being an NBA title contending type of team? I'm not sure of that. Donovan Mitchell, Rudy Gobert, they've got talent down there in Utah. I like their offseason moves. I've got them at number 6, though. I think they could make the Western Conference Finals. Okay, speaking of the NBA title odds, here they are. Top 5 teams. Clippers plus 350, Lakers plus 400, Milwaukee's at plus 535, the Sixers at plus 725, and the Golden State Warriors at plus 900. Just talked about them a minute ago. So you see they're at number 5 in the title odds because BetDSI and Vegas all thinks by the end of the year they're going to be a contender. So if you want to bet on the NBA Finals, go to BetDSI. Use that promo code DEAL120, chatsports.com/bet. Use that promo code DEAL120. Get that 120% deposit bonus. Put down $100, they're going to give you $120 for free, turning it into $220. Go bet on the Warriors. That's a good value play to win the NBA Finals. Do it today at BetDSI. Okay, top 5 here. I've got the Denver Nuggets at number 5, coming off that breakout season. Got taken to 7 games by the Blazers where they ultimately fell. I think they take another step forward. They could be a Western Conference Finals contending team in the West. Number 4, Philadelphia 76ers. I got 2 questions for Philadelphia. And by the way, Joel Embiid is my MVP dark horse. I did an NBA MVP candidates video. Check it out on youtube.com/chatsportstv. My 2 questions for the Sixers are this. Can Joel Embiid stay healthy? And will Ben Simmons shoot threes? He made one in the preseason. Is he going to continue to shoot him in the regular season? They lost Jimmy Butler, J.J. Redick. They added Al Horford. Those 2 guys are the keys if they are going to make a run to the NBA Finals. If Embiid stays healthy and has an MVP type of season, like I think he can, they will be a threat in the Eastern Conference, could win the East. I've got the Philadelphia 76ers at number 4. At number 3, the haters are going to come after me. I got the Los Angeles Lakers. Not completely sold on it yet. Look, tons of talent. I think they are going to be a Western Conference Finals team, but these pieces, it's going to take time for them to come together. You traded for Anthony Davis, which, by the way, he's looked terrific in the preseason. They've been crushing people, just crushed the Warriors the other night. It's about him and it's about LeBron. We know they're going to put up monster numbers. Can these role players come in and play their part like Dwight Howard? How is he going to fit in? JaVale McGee, how are they going to figure that out? Who is the point guard on this team? Is it LeBron? Is it Rajon Rondo? How does Frank Vogel mix and match these lineups? Where does Danny Green fit in? Avery Bradley. Lots of pieces to work with, but it's up to him to figure out the combinations. I think that'll take some time, 15 to 20 games at least. That's why right now I've got them at number 3. Number 2, I've got the Milwaukee Bucks. Look, we know what Giannis did last year. This guy's only going to get better. And by the way, he's shooting the 3 ball well in the preseason. 3 for 7, that's over 43%. Low volume, obviously, but if he's in the 35% range, last year he was 25.5%. If he can shoot 35%, he's going to win the MVP again, and Milwaukee's going to be tough to stop. He's going to be impossible to stop. He'll average over 30 points if he can shoot better than 35% from three-point range. I'm excited about this team. They're my pick to make the NBA Finals coming out of the East. I think the Bucks are going to be really good. Number 1, it's the only team left. It's the Los Angeles Clippers. And I know what you're saying, oh, Paul George is hurt. He's probably only going to miss the first 10 games or so. This is not a Golden State Warriors situation where Klay Thompson might miss 50-plus games. Paul George will be back sometime in November. This roster is the most complete team in the NBA. You look at it right there on your screen. This starting 5 is terrific. Pat Beverly, Shamet, Kawhi, Paul George, and Zubats. Oh, and by the way, you have 2 Sixth Man of the Year candidates on your bench, Lou Williams and Montrezl Harrell. You've got Mo Harkless, who's played meaningful minutes in the playoffs. Rodney McGruder is one of the better bench defenders in the NBA. Shout out producer Brett Scott, K-State guy right there. This Clippers team is 10 deep, and they are all going to play meaningful minutes come postseason time. And by the way, Kawhi, Paul George, those 2 guys, they know how to get it done. So I'll ask you guys this question. Who is the best team in the NBA entering this season? Because obviously we'll plug out some of these power rankings throughout the season every few weeks or so, but this is entering the season. Who's the best team entering the season? I think it's the Clippers. You've got the guy who just won the NBA Finals in Kawhi. You added Paul George, who's going to be ready very, very soon. You got Doc Rivers, the championship coach. Give me the Clippers as the best team entering this season. Let me know in the comments section. Okay, real quick, let's recap my NBA power rankings from 30 all the way down to 1. Got the Hornets, the Wizards, the Cavs, the Suns, and the Memphis Grizzlies. Then you got the New York Knicks, the Minnesota Timberwolves, Chicago Bulls. Excited to watch Trae Young and the Hawks. Got them at number 22. Detroit coming in at number 21. 16 through 20, got Oklahoma City, Miami, Sacramento, and Dallas. Those 2 teams specifically, plus the Pelicans. Those could all be playoff teams in the West if things bounce their way. Top 15, I got the Magic at 15, the Pacers at 14, the defending champion Raptors at 13. Got the consistent Spurs at number 12, and then the Brooklyn Nets coming in at number 11. Top 10 here, the Boston Celtics, the Portland Trail Blazers, Golden State, keep an eye on them. I think they're worth putting some money down on winning the NBA Finals. Do it at BetDSI. Houston Rockets at number 7, and then the Utah Jazz at number 6. Top 5 here, I got the Nuggets, Sixers, Lakers, Bucks, and the Los Angeles Clippers. Clippers are my pick to win it all. I've got them at number 1 in my power rankings.